Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We were talking in a commercial break. If you're thinking about starting your own company, your own business, this is the land of entrepreneurship. They're going to be on here to talk about what it's, how to start your own company.
Yeah. Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
I can't wait to hear their advice. So I mean,
one of the greatest books ever.
It is a great book.
That'll be great. We've got Meghan McCain on towards the end of the show. We've got a packed show today.
We do.
Yeah.
And get this, we've got an incredible show lineup for you. This team of financial experts sitting in our studio is here to tell you how to turn $1 million idea into $1 million payday. You gotta watch this when we come back. I've been waiting for this segment all morning. Do you think you have $1 million idea, but you don't know how to turn it into $1 million payday? How do you become an entrepreneur in this country? Well, our next guests have joined forces to tell you just how to do that. It's their brand new book. You got to go buy this. It's called More Important Than Money, An Entrepreneur's Team. Go buy it right now on Amazon. Welcome to Robert Kiyosaki. You know the great Robert Kiyosaki, Tom Wheelwright, Garrett Sutton, Darren Weeks, and Ken McElroy. This is a powerhouse. I don't know that we've ever had this much brain power in one room, and I'm not including myself, by the way. Good to see all of you guys this morning. Robert, I want to start with you. Of course, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the famous book, the book that changed, I think, so many Americans' lives. If they haven't read it 20 years ago, you can still buy it today, go out and read it. When you're putting together a team of entrepreneurs, when you're thinking about starting your own business, what do you look for in a team of experts to surround yourself with?
Well, number one, obviously, is integrity. People actually do what they do. They practice what they preach. But like you were talking about President Trump, he has a team of advisors. And all the entrepreneurs out there, it is more important than money is your team of advisors. Because nobody is that smart. But you have a smart team, you have a better chance of success.
And so these are all your advisors?
Yeah, and they're all entrepreneurs. I mean, they all have their own businesses. So I'm very fortunate.
And Tom Wheelwright, one of the smartest tax minds in this country. You've been a guest here on Fox and Friends before, author of the book Tax-Free Wealth, teaches Americans how to take advantage of this tax code, which is written for entrepreneurs in this country. Most Americans cry about the, 7 pages of the tax code where we send money to the government. The rest of the tax code is written for us to build businesses in this country.
Right. I mean, the tax law is really a series of incentives for entrepreneurs and investors. That's what it is. And if you've got $1 million idea, the tax code will actually give you a tax deduction as a tax break and a tax credit. It's called the Research and Development Deduction and Credit. So there's lots of things you can do if you're an entrepreneur to reduce your taxes, put money in your pocket.
And most people make the mistake. If they're a small business owner, they're a plumber, they'll take a check in their own name and they're leaving money on the table.
Heavens. Absolutely.
And have it written out to your business, your LLC, instead of your own personal name.
Well, as you know, it's very easy to reduce your taxes just by understanding how the tax law works.
Read Tax-Free Wealth, by the way. That's another great book you need to read. Garrett Sutton, as a legal advisor, how do you recommend an entrepreneur just starting out protect their assets? This is another big problem. People put all their eggs in one basket and they don't realize you need to protect yourself.
It is, Clayton. We live in a very litigious society, and you need to use a corporation or an LLC if you're starting a business, investing in real estate. And then, once you make the decision which entity to use, you have to set it up right away. The longer that you conduct business in your personal name, the longer all of your personal assets are exposed to a claim against the business. So you want to get that entity set up right at the start.
And if you don't, you're putting your own personal assets at risk, your house, your home, thing, in your own bank account, right?
Right. It's very easy to get started and you think you'll set up the entity later. Too many people then forget to set it up and everything's exposed.
Darren Weeks, you're a raising capital advisor. One of the big issues that people have is they think, I can't become an entrepreneur, I can't start my own business because I don't have money. I can't do it. Well, a lot of entrepreneurs start with zero money. They don't have any of their own money. How do you raise capital when you're starting a business?
Well, to raise capital, I mean, first of all, you need to, in my opinion, have some skills that they don't teach in school. One of the things I learned in business school was they didn't teach how to sell, for instance, or how to communicate my idea to investors, how to share with my investors that, mission is very important, and also what's in it for the investor. So don't teach these types of skills. And unfortunately, most entrepreneurs' dreams die because they don't have the finances. So I teach people how to raise the capital so they can live their dreams with their business.
And actually rubbing elbows with people, sitting down and getting advice from people. Nothing happens with you sitting on the couch behind a computer. You've got to get out and actually have lunch and coffee and develop those relationships.
Absolutely. So your network is your net worth, as I've been taught. And unfortunately, most people just think the bank is the only answer. And to me, that's unfortunately not the case.
Well, something near and dear to my heart is real estate investing. Ken McElroy, real estate advisor on this team. What is the #1 mistake that you see with businesses when it comes to real estate investing?
So what I see is that they don't use debt properly. You know, there's good debt and there's bad debt. And, you know, of course, bad debt is like credit card debt, and that's what a lot of people do. It's very expensive. Good debt is actually using debt to buy assets. So the banks are set up very interestingly. They take people's deposits, and that's actually what the poor does. The poor puts money into a bank. The rich borrow it. That's the system. And so if people understood that, they would borrow more money and they would try to stay ahead of inflation, because inflation is killing people. You know, they have to, if you're making 1% in a savings account and your inflation's at 4%, you're going backwards. It's just that simple.
Right. You have an investment, Robert. We've heard, I know this is something you talk about on the Rich Dad radio program all the time, something you've written about, this idea that all debt is bad. And it's not.
Yeah. No, it's not. I mean, debt is money, but you have to use it appropriately. You know, debt's like a handgun. If you use it improperly, you get killed. You use it properly, you're protected. So debt is very, very important for the entrepreneur.
The book is called More Important Than Money, An Entrepreneur's Team. I can't wait to dive into it. Robert Kiyosaki, Tom Wheelwright, Garrett Sutton, Darren Weeks, Ken McElroy, an all-star team. Great to see you guys this morning.
Thank you.
Thanks, Clayton.
Go out there and download it right now. Thanks so much, guys.